Hey everyone, this is Hugh from Plaguelands Media bringing you another board game playthrough. This time I am playing Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon by Awakened Realms. Now this game was a Kickstarter that I backed. I played it a few times when it first arrived and kind of put it on the shelf because I wasn't really enjoying it all that much. And then just last week, Wave 2 of the Kickstarter came and it kind of piqued my interest, so I thought I'd give it another go, and I thought I would film it. Now, there are a few things that I have to apologize for in this video. First of all, I apologize for my hair. I need a haircut. I know. It's coming. I don't know when. Just get over it. I have to apologize for the shoddy camera work. It's really difficult to film some of these videos with the limited table space that I have, and this game has a large table footprint. There are ways that you can mitigate that, but I just really wanted to get this game to the table this morning, and so I kind of did my best. There's probably going to be some funky editing cuts here and there as well, so I'm really sorry if that kind of bugs you a little bit. This is a very narrative heavy game, so I actually will be doing a lot of reading, so I'm really sorry if you hate the sound of my fucking voice, okay? Can't be helped. I could do funny voices. I could speak like this, or I could speak with a bit of a lisp, or I could do some really poor accents. I'm not going to do any of that. You're just going to get my voice, and if you don't like that, there's nothing I can do about it, except just to tell you to fuck off. So, with that said, I'm going to throw out a huge spoiler alert, okay? If you have this game, or if you plan on playing this game and you don't want to know what happens in Chapter 1, please don't watch this video, because this video is nothing but spoilers to the story. It's a fantastic story. It's an interesting and engaging story. But if you don't want it spoiled, please don't watch this video, okay? Now, hold on one second. Oh, such a satisfying drop. Now, please, if you like the content, hit the subscribe button down below. Again, if you don't like the content, hit the subscribe button down below. No one cares, okay? The numbers look good. Follow Plaguelands Media on Facebook. Follow us on our website, www.plaguelandsmedia.com. Follow us on Amazon. Go to the Kindle store, look up Ian Van Gamut or Hugh Newton for our some of our books, our ebooks we have out there. Follow Ian Van Gamut on Instagram. Follow Darth Mutt on Redbubble to get some awesome Plaguelands Media merchandise. We have more things in the works, of course, but with vacations and COVID and all of that stuff, things are a little slow getting started this year. So to our fans out there, please have some patience. With that said, I'm going to finish this delightful Chilean Cab Sav. And because Tainted Grail is a spin on Arthurian legend, I think it's only right to say, let's get ye oldie shit to ye oldie fucking table. Hey everyone, this is Hugh from Plaguelands Media bringing you a playthrough today of Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. Now, before I get started, I'm not actually going to go through all of the rules and whatnot with you. There are a ton of videos out there already doing that. What I am going to do, however, is simply set up the story and then just jump right into the gameplay. I'll be playing with 2 characters today. The first of which is going to be Maggot, a renegade of the Druidic Order whose innate powers are cursed by his destructive addiction to mixtures and mushrooms used by the Druids. Here are his starting statistics. 1 aggression, 1 courage, 2 spirituality, 1 caution. He gets 2 food and 2 magic. And on this side he has meditation. For 2 energy I can gain a magic. When dreaming I toss a dial. If the skull lands I read the nightmare if it is available. You will see how that all works later. I have his combat deck here and his diplomacy deck. I will also be playing with Beor, a local smith known for short temper and incredible strength. He does his best to conceal a festering, unhealable wound in his side he received under mysterious circumstances. He has 3 food, 1 wealth, 2 aggression, 1 courage, 1 practicality and 1 caution, but no empathy and no spirituality. And for 4 energy, he can craft, draw 3 items, draw 3 random craftable items and pick 1. And I will lose a health every time I become exhausted, as that's his festering wound. So that is Beor. You can see he has 6 energy, his starting health and his terror. 6 energy from Maggot, starting health and terror at 0 as well. Now in this game, each of our characters has been given a letter right here. Basically, I'm not going to read all of this out to you. It will take too long. And Beor also has a letter from someone that he knows. Now, the plot of Tainted Grail is that King Arthur basically brought the Holy Grail to Avalon in order to stop the weirdness from taking over. And things have gone bad, and knights have set out to find out what happened to the heroes, and they haven't come back. So now it is up to you to kind of work out what is going on. Here we have the miniature for Maggot, and here we have the miniature for Beor. So I'll move over to the map and just explain that very quickly. So here we have our map. This here is a menhir, and basically these are lit, so the land around the menhir is lit. If this menhir goes out, then the weirdness is going to take over and consume the land. We have 6 days to find out how to relight the menhir. Now you can see this is one of the map cards. This is Cumac Farmhold. There are some symbols on it. This symbol here indicates that if we stay here at night we dream. This symbol indicates that it is a friendly township, and this symbol indicates that there is a menhir here. For 1 energy, we can do chores for the townsfolk to gain 1 reputation once per day. And if you flip it over, you can read basically what you have to do and how to activate a menhir. So it's free action, doesn't cost any energy, requires all characters, the menhir secret card and the Stone Shaper's Tools secret card, and that is how we will activate the menhir. So our job is to find out the secret to lighting it. We can do that by exploring the surrounding lands. Whoops. Token fell out. We explore the lands, costs us energy to do that, and as we go through, things will become readily apparent. Now, a lot of this game comes in the form of this giant journal that will give us all of our stories, and I'll be reading from that as we go along. What can we do each day? We can explore for 1 energy, we can travel for 1 energy, we can do a location action, however much energy that costs. We can inspect a menhir, we can do character item actions, or we can just pass and end our day. And then we have an order. We start the day, during the day, and end of the day, and then we kind of go back and repeat, rinse and repeat. Okay. So let's get started on our merry adventure. I have all of our decks set up. I'll go over those as we kind of get into it. But for now, I'm just going to zoom in a bit on the map so you can see kind of what is going on. Okay, so start of the day. Remove expired menhirs. We have none. Discard locations that are out of menhir range. We have none. Reduce all time and menhir. So we had 6 days. This ticks down. We only have 5 days now. Okay, reveal the next event card. Okay. Where are we? There we go. The time is short. The guardian menhir has been protecting your town since the ancient days, is about to go dark. Rumour has it that there is a secret druidic witch rule that may help you rekindle the menhirs. You must explore the location surrounding Kumut to find it. Quest. Earn a menhir rights secret card. To do so, you'll have to explore the locations. Success: as soon as you have a menhir rights, resolve the Chapter 1 Part 5 card from the event deck and discard this card. Remember not to change the structure of the rest of the deck. Okay, try to return at the end of the day and get a dream. That is the hint. So we'll put that on top of the event deck, or just above it I should say. So that is our active quest. So we have 6 energy each. We are going to start with Beor for 1 energy. I'm not going to be in a party. Actually, I am going to be in a party, which basically means we are just doing everything together. The rewards and everything come together with that. So we are at... Let me just zoom out a bit, make it a little easier. We are at Kunok Farmhold. Okay. A deep feeling of loss fills everything in Kunuk, from dilapidated farms to the sunken eyes of those who remain in town. The menhir in the market is all but extinguished, and everyone brave or resourceful has left to find a solution. Okay. Sorry about this. I am just turning my phone onto silent. I am back. Okay, so we have some options. If we have a Wings of Weirdness status, we don't. If you have Secret Card 66, we don't. If you have the Hunter's Mark, we don't. So we can, if we want, here we go, we can visit the families of the champions from the first expedition, ask the townsfolk to help you prepare, rest for the day, or wander the alleys twisted by the weirdness. I think I'm going to visit the families of the champions. So we go to verse 1. This long winter, nearly everyone here lost a friend or family member. First to hunger, then to disease. Finally, the 5 remaining pillars of the community, the only heroes this land has ever known, suddenly left. Now when you look into the distant eyes of the last remaining residents, you realize they want to forget. We can loosen their tongues with mead. Ask them to share their burdens, which requires us to have empathy, which neither of my characters have, or leave. I'm going to loosen their tongues with mead. So Beor is going to pay 1 food and 1 wealth. It takes a while to break the silence of the grief-stricken people, but when you do, stories of separations and departures flood you like torrential rain. You try to remember every detail: the colour of a palfrey horse the village priestess Nianti rode, the ornament on the hauberk that young Lord Yvain wore, the strange drinking horn Afir the smith used to lug around, the birthmark of Fail the master huntsman, the embroidered cape of Orbit the seasoned traveller who'd seen all parts of the island. Who knows what detail can help you down the road? Gain part 1 of the Fate of the Expedition status, and exploration ends. Okay. So this is our sheet of statuses, and you can cross them off as you get them. And we found Fate of the Expedition, part 1. So we cross it off, and these will become apparent as you play the game, kind of what they do and how they are used. Okay, so our exploration has ended. Where do we want to go? I'm going to split up the party. We have a smith down here at the Forlorn Swords, and the Charred Conclave. So I'm going to use 1 of Maggot's energy, and he is going to move to the Charred Conclave. It's always a good idea in this game to read the information at the bottom. The winds that caress the long grass of this desolate highland also carries the smell of burnt flesh. That doesn't sound good. We have this beautiful painted picture. Now you can see the number here, 107, 101, 109. Because we moved here, we can open up 2 more cards to put down. So we can get the 107 card, which is the Withering, and we place it there to make the map a little bigger. And 109 is the Island Asylum, so we can put that there. Okay, so Maggot is now in the Charred Conclave. I'm going to spend an energy to explore. What can we actually do here? Oh, before we do that, it says draw a grey encounter when you enter this location. Okay. So let me show you encounters now. These are probably my favorite part of this game. Okay, this is a grey encounter, you can see down here. Something I really appreciate is that they put these symbols in the corners for colourblind people. So if someone is colourblind, they know that the grey encounter is the bottom left symbol. Okay. So we have mist-shaped vermin. They have 4 health. These are the symbols that we need to connect with our combat cards. This is what happens at the end of each turn. If we only do 2 damage, we get attacked for 1. If we do 3 damage, it will actually heal a damage. And if we give it the opportunity, it will run away. And loot is 1 food. So we are going to put our combat encounter there. Maggot has a set of combat cards here. Let me just turn off the light so you don't get the glare. I think that might make it a little better. Yes. So Maggot has his own set of combat cards. So we're going to give his deck a shuffle here. Okay, let me just kind of zoom in a bit on... Okay, that's good. We'll give his deck a bit of a shuffle. Okay, we'll put that off to the side, and we are going to draw 3 combat cards. Now, the purpose of these symbols on the side is that you have to match them with the symbols here. So you can see they kind of connect. Each of the symbols does mean something. So you can see that is draw a card. Whoops. So you can see we have multiple bonus, draw a card, discard the last card in the sequence, play a bonus card, enemy attack, trigger when placed, blah blah blah. That will all become apparent as we go along. So we have our 3 cards. The first card we place doesn't actually have to match any of the symbols, but subsequent cards actually do. So the first thing I'm going to place is I'm going to place this card here. So I don't want to use magic to draw a card. I would have to spend a magic point for the blue. But here I can play an extra card. When I put it down, I can lose 1 health to gain 3 charges. You can use a charge as magic. I might actually do that for Maggot, so I'm going to lose a health down like that, and I'm going to gain 3 charges on this card. And because of the bonus action here, I'm going to play another card. I'm going to play Skirmish. So we put Skirmish down like that. I'm going to use one of the magic charges to do 2 damage to the vermin. So he has 2 wounds on him. And I get to draw a card. Okay, but I don't get to play any more cards, so that is my combat turn done. Let's see if I can actually zoom in a little better for everybody. Okay, so that is my combat turn finished. So we look on his card, he has 2 health, so I take 1 more damage down to 5 health from 7. Okay, at the end of the combat, I can discard any number of cards. I'm going to discard the 2 cards I have, and then I draw a new hand of 3 cards. Remember, his health is 4. We need to do 2 more damage to him. Okay. Well, Murder of Crows seems the obvious choice. We place it here. And we're going to get the damage multiplier times 3, which is going to put 3 more damage cubes on him, taking him from 2 damage to 5. Now we can keep going if we wanted to, but I'm going to pass because we have already won the combat. So we remove the damage cubes. We get our combat deck, shuffle it all back together again, and the loot, we get 1 food. Okay, so that was combat. Now, Maggot is going to spend another energy to explore the Charred Conclave. So we go to 104 in our giant book here, the Charred Conclave. It doesn't take long to find it. You just have to follow your nose. The remnants of an enormous wicker man kneel at the bottom of a small vale. You were here when it was set alight years ago. The day was wet. The wicker man smouldered but didn't burn. Its victims, dozens of tightly packed druids, are still inside, their melted faces and charred beards pressed against the bars and looking toward the grey silent skies. Barely audible, ceaseless whispers fill the air. If you are playing Maggot, or he's in your party, go to verse 10. Okay, so we are playing Maggots. The lipless mouths sneer at you, the melted fingers seem to beckon and call you, an angry whisper grows like the sound of the sea. Finally you realise that you want to come inside. You step behind the charred bars where the black arms and melted fingers may close around you into a place where your life should have ended with theirs. I can either go inside, put my ear to the bars and gather what you can hear, or leave. I guess I'll go inside. You break some of the bars open and step inside, choking on the foul smell. Closer, a voice in your head says. You lie between the charred carcasses and feel their arms wrap around you. Closer, the voice repeats as hands begin to pull you in. Try to break yourself free, lay still. Okay. I'm gonna lay still. Each party member loses a health and gains a terror. So I lose a health, my terror goes up by 1. If you have the charred knowledge status, I don't. Okay, this is interesting. So you see these spaces here. We put dials on them. Okay, let me just get the dials out of the bag. So these dials have 1 to 9 on them. So we put them orienting where the skulls are, and they will give us a number, which I believe is 444. And then we can turn to the back of the book and we find the passage for 444 and go from there. So let's... Okay, so let's put the dial like that. It's not 444, my mistake. It is... 6, 7, 8... 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. Wow, see, that's the problem with these dials. The numbers are really difficult to read. That's a 1, 2, 3. So we go to 1, 1, 1. Deformed fingers dig into your skin. Bodies push from all sides, nearly crushing your ribs. Charred lips whisper to your ears. The pain is immense, but after a while, you understand. They are not looking to punish you. They want to pass the knowledge lost with them. Each party member loses 1 health. Wow, Maggot is very wounded, but gains 1 experience. Gain secret card 11 if you don't have it yet. Okay, these are our secret cards, which I don't have in order for some reason. And we have to find secret card 11. There it is. Secret card 11. Menhir writes, you can now activate menhirs. The cost of the action can be found on the back of each location with a menhir symbol. Wow. Okay. I'll put that secret with Maggot. If you don't have it yet, gain the Charred Knowledge status. Okay, so I cross off Charred Knowledge on my status pad, just there. Congratulations, you've completed your first quest. You now know how to wake the ancient menhirs. When you finish a quest, make sure to follow the instructions in the success section of your quest card. As soon as you have the menhir rights, resolve Chapter 1 Part 5 card from the event deck and discard this card. Okay. Place this card on the top of the active quest pile. Despite your best efforts to learn and perform the ancient rites, the menhir in your town seems beyond your help. Disheartened, you realise your only hope is to try and enable one of the 2 statues from the nearby locations. Okay, so we now have to activate a menhir. Really? It says that? Okay. Activate a menhir at one of the nearby locations, the Foe Dweller Mounds or Whiting. When you activate one of the menhirs, resolve Chapter 1 Part 6 card of the event deck and discard this card. Okay. So we now have an active quest. New task. Get to a location with a menhir and activate its menhir before time runs out. Exploration ends. Okay. I still have 1 energy. So I'm going to simply move him back to town. And then I am going to finish my day. Okay, with secrets, the whole party knows them. So, there we go. We still have a long time, and I think I want to explore a little bit more. So I'm going to spend 1 energy with Beor to go down to the Forlorn Swords. Okay. Pay 1 wealth, draw a craftable item. I don't have any wealth. I'm going to spend 1 energy to explore the Forlorn Swords. You rest a while in the shade of titanic swords, their rusty smell causing your nose to tingle. 100 yards away, an elder smith toils, chipping at the jagged edge of a giant weapon. The hammer he uses to break apart the ancient steel seems very strange, as does the sound it makes. If there is a quest token to this location, there isn't. We can attempt to climb the swords. We can talk to the smith, or we can rest in the shade. I'm going to talk to the smith. Verse 2. If there is a dial here, go to verse 3. There isn't. If you're playing Beor, you know the smith. He and your missing master used to be friends. Go to verse 4. You apologise to the man politely and then hang back, watching. Each strike of his hammer against the surface of the sword produces a sharp, tingling sound. This old steel was shaped not with a tool but with a song, the smith explains after a while. It takes the same pitch to break it apart. The hammer I have remembers the music of the Four Dwellers. Didn't someone say something about Four Dweller Mounds? Yeah, I think they're... I don't know. After a while, the old smith gathers rusty ingots from the grass and invites you to his hut, where he shows you the process. If you don't have the riddle of the old steel, each party member gains 1 experience. Well, we split the party, so Beor gets 1 experience, and we gain riddle of the old steel status. Okay, this is interesting. Then choose one. I can leave. I can attempt to buy the hammer. I can attempt to steal the hammer. Roll 1 die. Roll a die, add 1 point for each practicality. Okay. Do I want to steal it? Is Beor that kind of a hero? I'm just going to leave. I'm not going to steal that hammer. That doesn't sound like a good thing to do. I have one more energy left, so I'm just going to go back to the farm hold. Okay. So that is officially the end of our day. Okay, rest. Consume 1 food to restore 1 health and lose 1 terror. If you don't have enough food, drop your energy to 0. It's already at 0, lose 1 instead. Okay, well, let's go over to our party and see what they... Okay, so Maggot is going to eat 1 food to restore 1 health and lose 1 terror. And Beor is going to eat 1 food. No, you know what? Beor's not going to... Yeah, he's going to eat food just so he doesn't lose any health. Okay, next, restore energy to full if you're exhausted. So if your energy is in the red here, you only get 4 back. Your energy can never go past your health. So now Maggot has less energy. Advance your character by spending XP. Okay. Spending experience is pretty interesting. Page 10 of the rulebook, just so I get it. So, you can spend your experience to get extra points. So, for example, I have 1 point in practicality. If I wanted to spend experience to get spirituality, it would actually cost me 4 experience. So 2 experience, I can buy new combat cards. We only have 1 experience each, so we can't do anything with that. Modify your decks. If you're in a location with a dream icon, read the dream. Okay, we are both in a location with a dream icon. We are in Kunuk Hold. But remember, Maggot needs to flip the token, and if it comes up with a skull, he reads the nightmare. So let's flip the token. Maggot is going to read the nightmare instead. So Maggot's nightmare. In your dream, a worm the size of a mountain rises from the west, his skin shimmering with all colours of the rainbow. He draws close, opening his jaws as if ready to swallow the entire farmhold. Strangely, most people on the streets of Kunuk aren't even looking toward the creature, they are looking at you with sadness and disappointment. You told us it would be alright. A small girl breaks into tears. You wake up and can't fall asleep again until dawn. Each character who has this nightmare raises their terror by 1. Beor has the dream. In your restless dream, a pale lady rises from the water, her eyes milky and her skin spoiled with rot. She whispers something in your ear. Her breath smells of sea salt, kelp, and rotten fish. You barely remember the words. There was something about 3 enigmas, one hidden under the Isle of the Dead, one clutched in the grasp of burned hands and arms, and one buried in the mist-covered mounds. But what could it mean? I think the dream was a clue pointing us to where the menhir rites are, but we already found one of them. So I think we're just going to go ahead and begin the next day. So, start of the next day. We are back to ticking down the menhir. So we have 4 days left. Okay, reveal the next event card. Homeless vagabonds roam the roads and trails. Many hail from fishing villages further west, where the last menhirs went dark weeks ago. Though malformed and sick, they're the lucky ones. Their tales chill you to the bone. Is this the fate that awaits your land? Help the refugees. Each player may spend 1 wealth or 1 food to gain 1 rep and experience. Okay. 1 wealth or 1 food. Beor and Maggot are both going to spend a food to get a reputation each and an experience each. Excellent. Place 5, -1 per player. Additional random events on top of the event deck, then discard. Okay. So we take our random event deck. We're going to give it a shuffle, and we are going to put 3 on top of the... Okay, 1, 2, 3. Put 3 on top of the event deck, and we discard it. We still have a quest, so we'll just make sure. Okay. Okay, as a party, I think we're going to go up to Hunter's Grove. That is going to cost us 1 energy each. Okay, Hunter's Grove. Let's have a quick look at the card. We can dream here. It is connected to 106 for 2 energy. We can gather food, gain 2 food, and draw a green encounter. In ages past, only the druids were allowed to into the grove for good reason. That is now forgotten. Okay, beautiful artwork on these cards as per usual. And we get 106, the 4 dweller mounds, which we can then add there. I forgot to add the grub wood. We went down here, so technically that would have opened the grub wood as well. So you can see how the map, let's zoom in, whoops, zoom in a little. So you can see how the map is starting to kind of take shape. And let's kind of move the menhir down here and off to the side a bit so we can see our characters up there in the Hunter's Grove. Okay. So we are both in the Hunter's Grove. We do need food. So Beor is going to spend 2 and Maggot is going to spend 2. Remember, we are in a party, so we have to kind of spend it together. So we each gain 2 food, but we also draw a green encounter card. So let's do that now. Okay, we have the same thing, the mist-shaped vermin, which we saw last time. So we put that there. But this time, Beor and Maggot are both going to be in combat. So we will first shuffle Beor's combat deck, and we'll put it on this side. Then we'll shuffle Maggot's combat deck and we'll put that underneath, and we will draw 3. 1, 2, 3. And Maggot gets 1, 2, 3. Well, this isn't going to take very long. Beor seems to be the fighter here. So first thing he is going to do is he's going to play Brutal Tactics. So we match up, we do 2 damage, and we put a time counter on here. But because we have 1 courage, we can actually play another card, and we are going to play Staggering Strike. So we lose this because it covers up. We have 2 aggression, so we do 2 more damage and 1 damage down here, doing 3 damage, giving it 5 damage total, which straight out kills it. And that gives us 1 food. Because it's loot, we actually have to split that amongst the party. So you can see that Beor had a much easier time fighting the vermin than Maggot did. Maggot isn't much of a fighter, but Beor is much, much stronger, more aggressive as a character. We're going to give the food to Beor because Maggot already has. Okay. And I think what we are going to do there is end the day. So that kind of took a lot out of everyone. So we rest, consuming 1 food and restoring 1 health and losing a terror. So they both eat. I'll just keep the map on the. I'll just keep the camera on the map. So Beor is fine, and now Maggot is almost back to normal, which is good. Okay, set our energy back to full, so Maggot is now back up to 6 energy. Not exhausted. I could spend 2 experience to level up my decks, but I'm not going to. We are in a location with a dream icon, so we have to have the Hunter's Grove dream. Part 2. Okay. You drift off under the ochre-painted constellation into a restless sleep. There is no nightmare for Maggot. When you chase a young dove into the hills just outside Cunard, you wake early in the morning in a cold sweat with several fresh cuts. The taste of blood fills your mouth. Beside you, raw pieces of meat lay carefully wrapped in leaves. If you don't have the Hunter's Mark status, each character in this location gains 2 food. Wow. So I really didn't have to waste my time hunting. And then I get the Hunter's Mark status. Okay, Hunter's Mark. Alright. Start of the new day. The menhir ticks down to 3. Reset all time tokens. Reveal the next event card. This is a random event now. Blood Moon. Each time you resolve a grey, green or purple encounter, receive an additional unavoidable damage for each enemy attack. Sign of Kronkrush, the god of worms and tombs. Well, that's not very nice, is it? Okay. And move Guardians, pick active items, secret cards. Okay, well, 2 energy. Sorry, no. Each person is going to spend 1 energy. And do we go to the Foe Dweller Mounds or Whiting? Each of them have a menhir. Where is our map? Let's have a look at our map. So we're in Inot. Okay. So I believe this would be Whiting, and this would be the Foe Dweller Mounds. Where do we want to go? Do we want to go to the east or do we want to go to the west? You know what? Let's go into that settlement's going to be Whiting is red, so it's an unfriendly settlement. So let's go and have a look at the Four Dweller Mounds. There is a menhir here, but it is not lit. Okay, treasure hunt. Gain 1 terror, 1 wealth, and roll a die if the result is 6. Read verse 4. When the former masters of the island gone, with the former masters of the island gone, no one is left to guard the burial treasure. Hopefully. Okay. And it's connected to 116 and 112. Okay, for 0 energy, we can work out how to light the menhir. Requires all characters and the menhir secret card. Pay 1 energy, 1 health, 2 wealth, and 1 food. We don't have any wealth. Per player, put a new menhir model in this location, so we've got to get some wealth. Okay. 2 wealth. Alright. Okay, how do we get wealth? We can go treasure hunting here. Okay. Okay. So for 1 energy each, let's explore the Four Dweller Mounds first. Okay, if you have the Winds of Weirdness, we don't. The mist-covered mounds resonate with the sound of spades and pickaxes. Once, only insane treasure hunters worked here, but as more and more gold emerged from under the earth, these burial grounds turned into a regular mine, or at least almost regular. People still disappear or go mad here on occasion. Wander deep into the mounds, chat with the miners, or leave. I'll chat with the miners. You stop and listen to a miner's tale. They say a young foreman apprentice once met a pale, sad girl between the mounds, and she ran from him without a single word. Over the following weeks, he kept slipping away from his work to wander between the mounds looking for her. He saw her 2 more times, but never managed to catch her. Finally, one day, he noticed the girl running into a Four Dweller Mound. He followed her. The place was dark, teeming with strange powers. The apprentice kept pushing onwards, even as voices taunted him and laughed. Finally, after hours of fruitless search, he emerged from the exit only to discover his body and posture had changed. He was now a young, pale girl. Weird. Before she was able to overcome the shock of this discovery, a gruff foreman's apprentice spotted her. Shocked and ashamed, she ran away and wandered the mounds for days until she found an open tomb again. This time there was an empty coffin inside. The girl was so tired, she lay in it and fell asleep. She woke up in a comfortable bed as a 6-year-old boy who still shuddered from the intensity of his dream. This dream never left his mind and finally pushed him to leave his village at the age of 15 and sign up as a foreman's apprentice in the Mounds. The man who tells you this story has sunken, sad eyes full of fear and yearning. You thank him for his time and discreetly move away. If you don't have part 2 of the Burning Mystery status, we don't. Each party member gains 1 experience. Okay. And then gain part 2 of the Burning Mystery status. Exploration ends. Okay. That was pretty cool. Now we are going to do treasure hunts for 2 energy each. We each gain a terror and gain a wealth. So I'll spend my 2 energy, gain 1 terror, gain a wealth, spend my 2 energy, gain a terror, gain a wealth. Now we roll the die, and if it comes up with a 6, came up with a 1. Okay? We are going to end the day there. So we are going to rest, consume 1 food. So Beor consumes 1 food, and Maggot consumes 1 food. Bring his terror down. Restore energy to full. Okay. If you're exhausted, spend 4. Okay, advance your character by spending XP. Beor is going to spend... Oh, we still don't have enough. We only have 3. No, we're going to leave that. Modify your dex if you're at a location with a dream icon. We are at a location with a dream icon, which means Maggot has to... We get the cup, so we have the dream. If it was that, we would have a nightmare. There are no dreams in this place. The sleep is cold and silent as the mounds themselves. Good. If you are going insane, nope. Start the next day. Okay. Ticks down to 2. And all dials. Draw the next event card. Good weather. Your first travel today costs 1 less. Well, I'm not going anywhere. That card would have been useful before. And let's do our actions. Okay. We can go down into the mines. But you know what? Let's just get this menhir lit. So... we are going to spend 2 energy each to gain a terror and a wealth. Okay. So we roll the dice and it comes up blank. Whoops, wrong dice. Comes up 2. Okay, action. All characters and the Menhir Rises Secrets card, which we have. Remember, Maggot found the Menhir Rises secret in the Charred Conclave from the dead druids. Pay 1 energy, 1 health, 2 wealth, and 1 food per player. Okay, so we are each going to pay an energy. We are each going to pay a health. 2 wealth each. 1 food each. Per player. To put a new menhir model on this location and set the dial to 9. So... let's get... nope, that's not a menhir. Let's get a menhir. Okay. Now, because this menhir is lit, we're going to actually move the map down a little bit, like so, because we can actually see that part of the map and that part of the map now. So you can see our map has opened up quite a bit. Whoops. And we have completed our quest. We activated a menhir at the Four Dweller Mounds. Resolve Chapter 1 Part 6 card from the event deck and discard this card. Okay. Congratulations, you've completed the first chapter of the Fall of Avalon campaign. Each character gains 2 experience. And 1 magic. Alright. Each character gains 1 free combat deck advancement. Discard your event deck, place any random event cards back in the random event, then either save your game or draw the Chapter 2 setup to begin the next chapter. So we're actually going to stop here. This was just Chapter 1 of Rise of Avalon. Let's go and have a look at our characters. So you can see we have 2 menhirs. This one's going to go dark. As soon as this goes dark, all of these cards are going to vanish. They're going to just go away. But that is for another day. Let's move back over to our characters here. So you can see Maggot now has 2 food, 1 reputation, 5 experience and 3 magic. Okay, but the terror is up. And he has a couple of energy left. And Beor, pretty much the same with food, reputation, experience and magic. 2 energy, 1 terror. I can actually level up at the end of the day. And so each character has more like new combat cards that they can use. So we can actually just pick one that we want. I believe each character gains 1 free combat deck advancement. So basically we would draw 3 and then pick 1 and add it into our deck. It makes our combat or our... Is it combat? Yeah, makes our combat decks a little bit stronger for when we're fighting. It's a shame that you didn't get to see Diplomacy. Diplomacy is actually really, really interesting. Works a lot like combat where you have to match up symbols, but a little bit different. So we didn't get any items. So yeah, our characters, I don't know how we're going. This is really the furthest I've ever gotten. So if you would like to see me continue Fall of Avalon, Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon, please mention it in the comments below. You do have this option of saving your game at any point, which is really cool. So you can location, dial value, and it just helps you remember when you set up again how you were kind of doing with player notes and everything. So I am going to save my game. I am going to actually continue playing. But if you want to watch that second chapter of Fall of Avalon, please let me know. As always, thank you for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.